Guys, hello and welcome. We are getting into chapter 7 here, and we're starting with a little bit of immigration. And the first word is Ellis Island. And as you can see, on the left-hand side there's I guess it's been relatively recently remodeled. I would say in the 90s, they fixed it up. It was really decrepit and falling apart and everything. And it was a inspection station, processing station. The reason we say inspection station for immigrants is because if you had, any sort of disease, or if you weren't able to speak enough of the language, or if you just they just didn't like you for whatever reason, you could be sent back. Typically it was because of sickness, but there were things like intelligence tests and stuff like it is right in New York Harbor. As you can see, there's the Statue of Liberty, and there is Ellis Island. So they're very, 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 very close. And as you can see, it actually connects, or there is a land bridge there. That's the in New Jersey, and of course over here you can see Manhattan and then Brooklyn right here. So it's right there in New York Harbor. And if you arrived from Eastern Europe, or Western Europe for that matter, chances are that your family went through Ellis Island. The other side of the coast, on the west coast, it was called Angel Island. And you can see it's not quite the facility that Ellis is. And it's in San Francisco Bay. I don't know if you've been to Alcatraz, is right there, and you see relatively how small it is compared to Angel Island up here. So it still is in San Francisco Bay there. Relatively close to Alcatraz right there. And that's where, if you were coming from, Asian countries, you most likely went through Angel Island. The melting pot. A few years back, we were told as teachers that it's no longer allowed to use the term melting pot, and the proper term is salad bowl now. And the story always just, is just so interesting. A melting pot is when you throw all different cultures and things like that, and you throw them together, and they melt together, and it's all one thing, and you can't tell the difference of which one's which. Well, in this particular case, with the individual pieces of salad, you can see you have, like, lettuce, and you have, a cucumber, whatever. Well, they come together and form salad, but you can still identify the individual pieces. So, used to be called melting pot, now it's salad bowl. I'm not really sure what a tremendous difference that makes, but it is what it is. Nativism. This is overt favoritism. Overt means that you are not trying to hide it at all. So you openly show favoritism towards native-born Americans, meaning you are born in the United States. And the picture there is of a older conservative politician named Pat Buchanan, who was very famous for his stance of nativism. Speaking of nativism, the Chinese Exclusion Act, this is a real poster. And can you imagine today if you say, hip, hip, hooray, Chinese excluded? Democratic Chinese exclusion bill. That's pretty bizarre, but certainly that would not be something we'd see today. And look at even worse language, gentleman's agreement. They called it gentleman's agreement, but I mean, look at this. Asiatics must not be naturalized. No Japs in our schools. I mean, this is some language that we certainly are not used to seeing, certainly nowadays. But it was a different time back then. All right, well, that is it for today.